Okay, so I'm going to go over number 7 on the study guide, and first thing we're going to do is draw our tree. So we have the 4, so that's going to be our root because it's first in the list. And then we're going to put 2, it's less than 4, goes to the left. We have 8, greater than 4, goes to the right. 1, less than 4, less than 2, goes to the left. And then 6, greater than 4, but less than 8, goes to the left. And then we have 10, greater than 4, greater than 8, goes to the right of 8. And then we have 7, greater than 4, less than 8, but greater than 6. We have 3, less than 4, greater than 2, goes to the right. 12, greater than 4, greater than 8, greater than 10. 5, greater than 4, less than 8, less than 6. 13, greater than 4, greater than 8, greater than 10, greater than 12. 13. And then 9, greater than 4, greater than 8, but less than 10. And then we have 11, greater than 4, greater than 8, greater than 10, but less than 12. So 11 goes here. And then at the very bottom, we have these nodes, and they all point to like a nil node, which completes like the triangle. But I'm not going to write out nil. I'm just going to draw out these prongs, which represent the nil nodes. Okay, so it's going to ask us for the keys of T printed by pre-order. We're also going to do in order and post order. And then, okay, let's see. I'm going to copy, I'm going to move this over. Copy. Paste it. Okay, so let's do the pre-order first. So pre-order. So we're going to start at our root 4, and we're going to go left of it. And when we do pre-order, once we visited a node once, we're going to write it down in our list. So we visited 4, so 4 is going to go down. So here's our here's our list. It's going to be 4. Then we're going to the left of it, which is 2. And then 1. And then it's actually going to go to this nil node and back to 1. But because we already have 1 in our list, we don't really have to write anything. Same thing here. It's another nil. Go back to 1. But we skip it because we already have it in our list. And we go back to 2. We already have that down. So we go to 3. Same thing here. Goes to nil, back to 3, nil, back to 3. And you can see we're kind of like outlining this tree. So then we go all the way back to 4. Where do you have that? So then we go to 8. And then we go to 6. And then 5. And then to nil, back to 5, nil, back to 5. Where do you have 6 and 5? So we go to 7. To nil, back to 7, nil, back to 7. All the way over, and then now we can go to 10. Okay, and then we go to 9. And we go to nil, back to 9, nil, back to 9. Then we go to 12. Then we go to 11. Nil, back to 11, nil, back to 11. And then we go to 13. And we are done. We have all the numbers. So this is going to be our pre-order list. And I'm just going to double check my work. Number 7, 4, 2, 1, 3, 8, 6, 5, 7, 10, 9, 12, 11, 13. Perfect. Okay. So now next we're going to do our in order. And for in order, here, let me write this down. After 1, so like after our first visit, in order is going to be after our second visit, and then post is actually our third. Also, feel free to pause to try to do it yourself at any point. And then let's do in order. Okay, so we start at our root 4. We visited 4 once, so we go to 2. Visit it once, we go back to, and then we go to 1. Visit that once, and then we don't write anything down because remember, we're only writing it down after we visit it 2 times. So now we go to nil, and then go back to 1. So now that we visited 1 2 times, right? We visited it here the first time, and then here when we went from nil back to 1, we can write it down. We can write down 1. Okay. Now we go back to nil, back to 1, but we already have it down, so we just ignore that. And now we go to 2. We haven't written 2 down yet, and we visit it twice at this point. We can write it down. Go to 3, nil, back to 3. Now we can write down 3 because we visited it twice. Go to nil, back to 3, skip it, we already have it. Skip 2 as well because we already have it down. And now we're at 4. We've visited once before, but now we visited twice. We can write down 4. Okay, so I'm going to go to 8, 6, 5, and I go to nil, back to 5. So 5's been visited twice. We can write that down. And then we go to 6. We visited 6 twice now, so we can write that down. 7. We go to nil, back to 7. That's 2 times. We visit 7. Skip 7. Skip 6. We already have that down. We go to 8, and now we can write down 8 because we visited it twice. Now we go to 8, now we go to 10, go to 9, go to nil, back to 9, can write that down. Nil, back to 9, ignore it, go to 10, we've been to 10 twice now, writing that down. Go to 12, 11, go to nil, back to 11, so write that down. Go back to nil, and then back to 11, skip it, we already have it down, and then we go to 12, we've visited 12 2 times, so I'm writing that down. Going to 13, nil, back to 13, and I'm writing 13 down. So now we have all the numbers down. Pretty simple. Let's do post. Okay, post order. So after we visited 3 times. So let's go to 4, visit it once. Okay, now we're at 2, 1. Okay, go to nil, back to 1. Okay, so we've been to 1 2 times now, but then we go back to nil and back to 1. And so we've been to 1 3 times. We can write it down. Oh, sorry. 1. Okay. And then we go here, we visit 2, but we've only been to 2 twice, so we don't write it down. Now we go to 3. To nil, back to 3, and to nil, back to 3, so we visited 3 times. So we can write down 3. And then visit 2 again. So now that we visit 2 3 times, we can write 2 down. Okay. And now we visit 4, but we've only visited twice, so we don't write it down. 8, 6, 5, we go to nil, back to 5, nil, back to 5. We visited 3 times. Can write down 5. 6, we visit 6 twice. Now we go to 7. Nil, back to 7, nil, back to 7. So we visit 7 3 times. Can write down 7. Okay. And now we go to 6. Now at this point we visited 6 3 times. We can write it down. Okay. Go back to 8. We've only visited 8 twice, so we can't write that down yet. Go to 10, 9, nil back to 9, nil back to 9. That's 3 times. Writing 9 down. Okay, going to 10. We've only visited twice. Skipping. Going to 12 and 11, and then to nil back to 11, nil back to 11. That's 3 times. So we can write down 11. Then we visit 12 for the second time. Then we go to 13. Nil back to 13, nil back to 13. That's 3 times. Okay, and now we visit 12 again. That's 3 times. Then we visit 10 again, 3 times. 8. And finally 4. So this should be our pre, in order, and post order. I'm going to double check just to make sure I got everything correct. So in order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That one's correct. And then 1, 3, 2, 5, 7, 6, 9, 11, 13, 12, 10, 8, 4. And this is correct. Okay, so let's do part B. Delete the keys 4 and 8 from T in order. Okay, so let's have... So this was our tree before, and we want to delete 4, so we look at, we split this in half, and we look at everything to the right, and we look for the smallest number. Oh, sorry, give me a second. It's kind of like this. So the smallest number to the right of 4 is 5. So we're going to replace 4 with 5. So it's going to be, I'm going to draw it out here actually. So it's going to be 5, 2, 1, 3, 8, 6, 10, 7. We don't write the 5 anymore because that's gone. We moved it up to the root, and then writing everything else. And this is our tree after removing the key 4. I'm going to move this around for more space. Okay, so now we want to remove 8. So we look at 8, and we look at everything to the right of 8. Oh, everything to the right of 8. And we pick the smallest number, which is 9. So it's going to be 5, 2, 1, 3, and we're removing 8, we're replacing it with the 9, so it's going to be 9 now. Then we put 6, and then 7, 10, 12, 11, 13. And this is our final tree. And now it wants us to give the keys of T in order printed by post order. So post order, remember, it's after we visit 3 times. So we can draw our little prongs from, so we're missing one here, and we're missing one here, just to like complete the triangle, right? You guys can imagine like a triangle here. So this, and then this one's missing one. Alright, now we can traverse this. So we go to 5, 2, 1. We go to nil, back to 1, nil, back to 1. We visited 3 times. We can write it down. Okay, we go to 2. We've only visited twice. 3, nil back to 3, nil back to 3. We can write 3 down. Okay, we visited 2 3 times now. We can put that down. And then go to 5, 9, 6, nil back to 6. And then we go to 7, nil back to 7, nil back to 7, write down 7. And then we go back to 6, we can finally write 6. And then we go 9, 10, nil back to 10, 12, 11, nil back to 11, nil back to 11, we can write 11. 12, 13, nil back to 13, nil back to 13. And then we go to 12 for the third time. Then we go to 10 for the third time. Write that down. 9 for the third time. And 5. So this should be our answer. Let me just double check. 1, 3, 2, 7, 6, 11, 13, 12, 10, 9, 5, and that is our answer. So last part of this question is asking us to do a left rotation about the root of the tree resulting from part B. Give the keys of T in the order printed by pre-order tree walkout. So we have 5 as our root, but we want to rotate it to the left, right? Because left rotation about the root of the tree of our answer B, which is this. So we move 5 over to the left, and to the right of, originally to the right was 9, so we put 9 as the root now. And then we just do 2, 1, 3. So 9 actually had 6 and 7 connected to it. So we can go 9. 6 is less than 9, but greater than 5, so we put it here. And then 7, less than 9, but greater than 5 and greater than 6, so 7 would be here. Okay, and then we just write everything else out. 10, 12, 11, 13. So this is our new tree after performing left rotation. And now we can do the pre-order. And if you remember, pre-order is just after the first time we visit it, we can write it down. So we start at 9. Right here, 9. Then we go to 5, 5, 2, 1. We already have 2, so we skip it. Go to 3. And then go to, we already have 5, so we skip it. We go to 6. Oh, sorry. And then we go to 7. And then we go back around. We already have all these numbers. And then we already have 9, so we go to 10. And we go to 12. Go to 11. We skip 12 because we already have it down, and then we go to 13, our last number, and this should be our answer. Let me just double check again. So 9, 5, 2, 1, 3, 6, 7, 10, 12, 11, 13, and this is how you answer problem number 7.